Hello and welcome to Leap Day Thursday morning tutorial. We are going to leap in to a zipper project. Who doesn't have pillows that need zippers or need a backing or finish your pillows? And I just wanted to brush up on my own skills of zipper insertion into pillows. So I found these pillows on my couch at home and I thought, ooh, I'd like to do exactly this flap pillow. And so here we go. We're going to actually do this. We're going to do a flap zipper insertion on the back side of the pillow so that, because you want to be able to wash your pillow covers. So it's nice to be able to take the pillow cover on and off and then to have a really neat, clean finish zipper closure like this. And so I just thought, let's try and do that. Oh, here, this is my couch pillow. Everyone, I do love this. And I brought another one to show you the inside, because who doesn't want to see the inside of how things are made? So we're going to go, so you've got 3/4 of the backing of the pillow, 3/4 piece. The zipper is attached at first on that larger piece, and then we're going to attach the other side of the zipper onto the smaller piece that's on the top. So let's come on over to this side.
Hi sewing friends, it's Linda here with a cup of coffee. I hope you have one too. The wonderful thing about this channel is that it's a tribute to sewing, quilting, and embroidery. We showcase an array of machines that will fit every project that you can even imagine. Do you enjoy our content? Well, then please lend us your support with a subscription, a like, a comment, positive comments. We love hearing from you. For product inquiries, just LindaZ.com. It's always open. We have a dedicated sales staff that look forward to helping you make the right choice with your future machine needs. And let's embark on today's sewing journey.
So here we are on this side, and just wanted to show you that I do have my 2 pieces ready to go for the back of my pillow. This again, I didn't tell you, but this is actually a Tula Pink fabric. I love this fabric. It's from the Holiday Homies. We do have, I don't think we actually have this check left, but we have a lot of the other fabrics from this collection for Christmas, and they're really cute. So you should come and see them if you are ever at LindaZ. So they're really cute. So just wanted to get into the fact, so I got the 2 pieces. This is the bigger piece. I started already sewing on the zipper to that lower part, and I'll show you how I did that in a moment. And then I cut out the top part. There's just a little bit of a curveball on this type of fabric because basically I wanted to, when I do make that flap later, I wanted the check to match. So I folded over a little bit more than was necessary really. So I folded over 2 of the checks to be able to, on this section here, to be able to cover that and to make it look seamless, right? To line up all the checks. So that's ideally we're going to have that look, and then we're going to top stitch over and it's going to be closed and it's going to be great. So let me just show you what we need as far as tools to get through this project. I chose a 30-inch by any double slide handbag zipper. A marking tool, I've chosen a white chalk marking tool because I do want to mark exactly where I'm going to top stitch, because I've got to allow for a seam allowance and then do a top stitch in a little bit. I've got my turning tool, which will come in handy once we stitch all the way around the pillow and we have to turn it inside out or right sides out, and that will come in handy later. I've got some clips. These clips are great. I'm going to be using these pins to hold that check in place before I actually sew down the other half of the zipper, so I'm using some straight pins. Those are great. I've got my snippets here, always handy snippets. I've got a rotary cutter, and I was using my Quilters Select ruler to cut out the different parts of this project. So that's what I need. And then, of course, when we get over to the machine, we'll look at some of the things that you need on the machine. So I can start out by showing you that I've already stitched this part of and I've pressed it down, the zipper. Okay, so this is how I did that. I put the zipper face down, pull face down onto my project, and I pulled that out of the way, and then I stitched down very close to the teeth here. I stitched a straight stitch all the way down the side, and that held that zipper down. And then what my next step is to pull that over and to press that down, and then we're going to go over to the machine and top stitch right along the edge of that zipper to keep that down in place. So let's go ahead and do that over at the machine. Okay, so I've got a mini zipper, and we'll talk about how you can get a hold of this. I'm working on a Juki machine here. It's the TL18 QVP. It's the TL series. There's all kinds of machines in this series, and we love this top of the line 18 right now. It's a great machine. I also purchased a professional presser foot extra box of feet, and this happens to be a miniature zipper foot. I love this foot. It's one of my favorite feet of all time, and it's it almost reminds me of an industrial machine foot because it just really gets right in there. So I'm going to run that fold right along the edge of the zipper foot as I go down here to top stitch along, and I've got 60 weight black thread in both the top and the bobbin, and then I am putting my stitch length at 4.0, so you can see that it's at 4. And I am going to just stitch right along there and hold it steady. So here we go. The speed on this machine is awesome too. I've got it up to the top speed. And so I'm just, okay, of course, when people are watching me, my straight turns into not straight, but I'm trying to show this as I'm standing here at the machine. And so this is gonna hold that zipper in place, stitching along the top like that. And then I've got both in the heel of my foot control and then this scissor button. I can press that. So that's beautiful. Look at my top stitch there, how pretty that is. Looking good. So that's my first step. Whoops, fell down. So I just wanted to show you a box of feet that you can get. We are able to get some of these in. You've got 3 different unique specialty presser feet plus a swing guide that's in here. And I'd love to be able to show you what that swing guide does or any of the other 2. So you've got a Teflon foot, the mini zipper foot, and a cording foot that comes with this special foot kit. So just wanted to show you that. And then we can move back over and I'll show you the second part of the zipper. So here is that, after we've done that, and we're going to be placing now this, we're going to sew along the other side of the zipper, the first seam. So I'm going to open up that fold that I had here. But what I'd like to do first so I'm actually going to sew along here, right sides together. So the right side of the zipper towards the right side of this fabric. And I need to make sure, remember that my plaid is lined up. So that's where I'm going to line that up perfectly here, and then I'm going to put some pins in right at that line so that that stays while I sew that other piece behind. So I'm just going to put in about 4 pins along here to make sure that my plaids line up. And that looks pretty good. I might just put 1 extra clip down there. Okay, so there we have it. And now what I have to do is go over to the machine and stitch right close to the teeth along there. So normally I would want to put a couple of clips just to make sure that is in place as I go along. But that's kind of crinkly, so we'll just remove them as we go. Okay, so let's go ahead to the machine. And we're going to stitch right along. What's great is that zipper, the teeth are going to be just right along the edge of that foot. Okay, so let's go ahead and stitch along there. Actually, I want to shorten the stitch length back to a tighter stitch length. So a little bit by 2.25 or 2.5 is fine too, but I prefer and I can actually back stitch a little bit along there, and then I can go ahead and stitch along. So I'm kind of feeling where the teeth are to the left here, and just keeping, what's nice about that plaid is that it is right there along that plaid. So I can see the plaid line and have just a little bit of space between where the teeth are and where I'm stitching. And that will be straight all the way along. Get rid of these clips here. So stitching along there. And I can reverse and then heel kick for my scissor cut. So that's sewn on. So let's go have a look at that over here. So I flip this back, and now comes the part where we get to top stitch. So I wanted to use my marker to mark exactly where I want to top stitch. So I want to cover the end of the zipper that's going to be there. So I want to cover that. But my seam allowance is going to actually, to close the bag, it's probably going to cut off about 1/2 inch right there. So I do want to maybe go inside this black a little bit to where I'm going to close that zipper off and top stitch along. And I'll go right over the teeth, which are right here. I can feel the teeth. And I just want to be a hair beyond the teeth as I top stitch over that, so that when I do open, I will have about the same amount of zipper showing when I open the flap as, right. So let me take, same thing on the other side. It looks like I can measure that with a little ruler here. You can see how big that was. That was about a little bit 2 1/8 inch in from the edge of the fabric. So let's go ahead and do that on the other side. 2 1/8 inch. So it's right in the black a little bit. Want this to be the same on both sides. So that's, if we can bring back our sample of what they were showing us here, and you can see that's kind of what they've done, is they've stitched along to close off that, and they've gone along here, and then they've stitched all along the top to hold that platelet down. So we're going to go ahead and do that on the machine. It's kind of like a closure there, and then stitched all along. So let's go ahead and try that. But what I think I want to, well, I don't really need to mark because I can feel the teeth, and I can just go along that line. So I want to make sure I'm along that line all the way across. So let's go ahead back to the machine and try that. So we're back to top stitching. So I'm going to lengthen my stitch to about a 4, because that's what's pretty on there. And I'm going to run the zipper foot, this beautiful mini zipper foot, right along the edge of that fold here for this first, up till that mark. I'm going to stitch right on that mark when I get to that mark. There I am. Lift my project up. Here, get rid of these clips. Lift my project up. Go back down. I'm going to go right over the teeth. And then I am going to go, actually, yeah, I can go off the, whoops, bring my foot down again, and then I can go off the edge. So basically what I'd like to do is stitch then all along the top here. So I'm going to stitch all along the top, very close to those teeth. So my flap is going to be a little bit bigger than the flap on my pillow, on my own couch pillow that I have there. But it really is for the sake of the plaid that I'm doing that. Okay, so there we go. And then, so that's all along. And then I just want to finish off the other end over here by doing the same thing on both sides. So let's go over that. And then we stitch right over those other stitches. Okay, so that's our flap. Our flap is done. We can come over here and look at that. Pull these pins out. We can trim these threads that are here. And then you can see, which is great, our flap is, oh, what did I do? So I'm here I am lifting up this flap and thinking, how do I open up the zipper without a zip pull in here? Oh, oops, I forgot to bring the zip pull through to this section before I stitched at the end here. So I'm going to rip out, use my seam ripper and rip out these two parts here, and then I can pull my zipper pull into the inside, and then I can redo the edge section. So I'll come back when I've done that. Okay, so this time I actually have the pull on the inside of my pillow, so that's how I'm going to be able to turn it right sides out after I've sewn on the front of the pillow. And I can go ahead and trim off the excess zipper right now on the edge over here, because that is now installed. My zipper is now installed and sewn shut. So this is another zipper I can use for another project. That would be great. So let me grab the top and I'll show you. I'm not going to actually sew it here today, but let's, so I would take the reading side and put that face down on here. And my back is a little bit larger than my front. So I can pin that or clip it all the way around, stitch a seam at a half of an inch seam allowance all the way around. And then once I'm done, I would want this zipper to be open a little bit. So actually I would stitch probably on this side, the seam all the way around, and then I'll be able to pull it through the zipper hole once that's done. So there you have it in a nutshell. This is kind of what that one looks like, but with the black zipper. And I could have, true, they did use a serger to do a overlock edge so that it doesn't fray along the edge. I could have done that as well along this edge using a overlocker before inserting the zipper. So there you have it in a nutshell on leap year. Have a nice leap day, everyone.